you to grow.
What's your definition of the American dream?
The definition of American dream is you can just wake up in the morning and decide to take off for 2 months anywhere you want to go in the world and not have to worry about paying the bills.
And do you think this still exists?
Of course. I mean, if you really want it bad enough and you're patient, anyone can do it. I believe that. But you got to have the drive, you got to have the hunger, and you got to have the never give up mentality, because surely you're going to get to a point you're going to have a dead end and you're going to have to make a U-turn and find a different route.
Well, I'm assuming you think you achieved it.
I think so. I don't know. You know, my wife still tells me that I'm in denial sometimes. And, well, you know, when you're accumulating wealth, more cars, this, that, sometimes you don't stop to kind of enjoy it because you're always hustling. But yeah, I think I've achieved.
How did you make your first million in real estate? Can you tell us more in detail about that deal?
Sure. So that was a commercial property, year 2000. Because I did own the store, I could qualify for SBA loan for a commercial property to build a vacant building on First Street in Santa Ana. I bought that with 10% down, $67,000 out of pocket. I remodeled it, and then I sold for $1.6 million in less than a year. So that was my first $1 million on a single flip. And then I turned that and used the cash to my advantage, and I started writing a lot of offers on apartment buildings in Long Beach, 6 unit and up. And I was able to buy some, with short closing. So use that to my advantage of getting a price reduction. In return, close it quick with no contingency. And so again, I took risk, but it was calculated risk because I knew, hey, if they're asking $900,000 and I offer them $650,000, they settle for $700,000. I just made $200,000, right? Less than what they're asking, because I was able to perform quick and buy it as is. And then I did that, so I flipped probably 200-300 units. And then I started doing office buildings, the similar concept. And as a matter of fact, the building I recently bought for $22 million, I owed $1.5 million non-refundable deposit day one, and there was an offer $26 million, $4 million more, but the seller gave it to me for $22. So
why did they do that?
Because they wanted certainty. So seller was very wealthy individual and just wanted certainty that the person is going to close. The other offers had 90-day due diligence. They wanted to develop it, go to the city, see what they could be built on it. He just wanted certainty. So in real estate, you want to see what the seller's objective is, and if you can fill that void, you make extra money up front. So
I do like that, because it's like if you can deal with more uncertainty, you can get bigger upside.
Yeah.
What was it like to make the first $1 million? And how?
Oh, it was great. So I think it was 2000 or 2001. So I'm born in 71, so I was 30, 29 or 30. It was great because back then $1 million was a lot of money. Right now, $1 million is not a lot of money, right? Or maybe it is, I don't know. You lose concept of money when you buy $5 million cars. But no, it was unbelievable. Obviously, I did a 1031 exchange, but when I had my statement that shows $1 million in 1031 exchange cash, that was it was a good feeling. I felt like I made it. Like Borat says, great success.
Is that the moment you felt like you made the American dream, or when was that?
No, that was definitely a milestone that I never forget. Because I was writing offers, buying the 6-unit, 9-unit apartment complex, all cash, 10-day close, and I was 30 years old. It was like, that's a pretty good feeling. You're setting a powerful seed when you can tell somebody, here, I'll close in 1 week, but I want $200,000 off, And that worked out really well for me too, because that was year 2001, 2002, and then the real estate had a good run up till 2007. So I was able to, amass a portfolio from that $1 million I started to over $100 million in real estate by 2007.
If someone is just starting out and they want to make $1 million in real estate, and that's their goal, liquid, and they don't have much money though, like what would be the steps they'd follow? So you're saying residential, like how would you think about that?
Yeah, residential. Well, nowadays with technology, back when I started 30 years ago, there was no internet. So I had to actually fly out to Houston, meet with the listing broker, walk the properties, and then I would pick which one I want to buy. Now you get on CoStar, LoopNet, there's so many multiple listed services. You can kind of do your research online. And to that point, you can also network with other people that have money. And if you do your research and you find a nice value add real estate that's distressed, and you do your research, say, hey, okay, this is mismanaged. If we do this to this out parcel, this tenant, sell it separately, or lease this subdivided, lease it to multiple smaller tenants that pay higher rent per foot. The comps are there to support double the price. And you go to an investor, network with other investors that have equity, bring them as an equity partner and make $1 million. You can do a split. There's so many ways, so many options you have now that you didn't have 30 years ago. So whoever says they can't make $1 million, that's just an excuse. They haven't tried hard enough. So doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. It may take them a year to 2 years to absorb and study that market to be able to sell that to an equity investor. This is a business that takes time to get educated and power up. So
the thing I've always kind of avoided about real estate is anyone can do it. Like I do tech because that's much harder, or making videos like this. It's like everyone can go and do these things. But I'm missing, like everyone's doing real estate. How are you able to be in the sounds like the top echelon performance? Like what were you doing different?
I would say my timing was, I was very lucky because that, 5-6 year of run we had in real estate, it was unprecedented, similar to what happened, in the past 5 years, right? But I use the same concept of, just flipping out of each value add into the bigger deal. So basically I scaled my portfolio. And at some point I had over 2 million square feet in real estate, mostly in Houston. And then in 2007, I realized, just like 1999, when I sold my stocks, I realized, okay, this is a little too good to be true. People were bidding on my high-rise buildings from Florida, New York, without seeing it, on a $18 million high-rise. I had multiple offers. I'm like, this is not normal. It's just too good to be true. So I sold my portfolio in 2007, made a lot of money. I had 1031 exchange and bought a bunch of shopping centers that are anchored by grocery stores and a bunch of about 1 million square feet of industrial, Halliburton, FedEx, Continental Airline. These were all of them in Houston. Because I knew those tenants have a strong balance sheet and they can weather the storm. If we have a recession, surely what happened? We had a recession. Most of my high rises went back to the bank. I ended up buying 5 of them from the banking 3 years later and sold them again. That's another story. But so what I'm saying is, if you take calculated risk and you know how to underwrite a property and you're on the right cycle, your timing's right, real estate is pretty predictable.
How many places have you bought? And I think and how much have you spent in real estate over the years?
Oh, over $1 billion, maybe $2 billion. I don't know.
And then I think what's also interesting in that, so how many properties is that, Ari? It's like hundreds?
I don't know, 70, 80, maybe 100. Like one deal right now I bought for $22 million and I'm opening escrow for $72 million. So
you're opening escrow for $72 million?
Yeah.
Han, so the person that was selling it, what did they not see that you were able to do?
Oh, I can't disclose that to you. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, no, I have a confidentiality with it. It's a huge company buying it from me. But this property was basically, I'm repurposing it. So it's basically a land play. So I bought it because the substantial land in a high density area, and this developer is going to come and put 400 to 600 apartments on it. So to them, they're repurposing the dirt. So
it's good money down. What's the value of your current portfolio today?
I don't even know. No, I'm just kidding. No, a couple $100 million. I've been waiting for a recession to buy because I made all my money in recessions. And that's why I have, probably $30 million in cars. Last recession, I only had one Bugatti because I was buying a lot of properties. So now I'm getting ready, gearing up to load up because next 2 years, I think is going to present the mother of all buying opportunities when it comes to commercial. Not so much residential maybe, but commercial real estate, a lot of defaults. So I'm looking to double, triple that portfolio value.
The two comments on that. One, when you've bought 70 or 80 and you have a portfolio of hundreds of millions now and you've spent billions, I also think it's like how many places did you put offers on that you didn't get? Because I think that's like kind of a thing that people don't realize. Like how many have you swung that didn't work out?
A lot. Well, on a good day, I look at probably 20 properties, not physically, but on my lead flow, and I probably write an offer every 3-4 months on one. So if you look at, that's 150 deals a month I look at.
Yeah.
And in 6 months, that's 900 properties I look at with II, right? And then I make one offer. And I haven't been able to get anything in escrow for the past 18 months. That tells you. So a lot of swinging, but I'm not hitting the ball yet.
Yeah. But I think that's the part I really wanted to highlight.
Yeah.
Because your strategy now, it's like you're looking for opportunities in recessions, but it's not,
it's not here yet.
And you just go buy one and it magically works. It's like, I think people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're not seeing all that.
Yeah. You have to swing a lot of bats to hit in real estate. And you got to be patient because it's a game of patience and you got to just wait for those cycles. And right now that, we are in a down cycle. So it's already started. And with the Fed's increasing the rates 10 times, that's going to accelerate it. It already has. And I think in the next 18 months, if people are, geared up financially and mentally and powered up, knowing what they're going to be doing in which submarket, they can make amazing returns.
What are the contrarian opportunities or contrarian things that people should be prepared for or thinking about?
Well, when contrarian mentality works with anything, like cars, when we had the lockdowns, some cars were selling for 50 cents on a dollar because people panic. They have the fear of, it's end of the world. Right now, it's the banking industry. You're seeing all the banks, regional banks are collapsing. They're underwater. So a lot of people taking their money out and putting it with bigger banks because they're scared they're going to lose their money. So fear and panic always creates opportunity. And, whether it's real estate, cars, or stocks, in March 2020, as stocks went down 30%, people that bought, they were contrarian, they made a killing, right? So you can use that. Of course, it's easier than said than done. But as you take risk and be a contrarian and you make money and you have success with it, your balls get bigger.
In the real estate portfolio, what's been like the biggest win you've had and the biggest loss?
My biggest loss was a 6-story building I bought for $17 million, and it was a single tenant. It was a subsidiary of Boeing, USA, United Space Alliance. They used to handle all the communication with a space shuttle, and they didn't get the contract from NASA, so they gave me I got a FedEx envelope with one page in there telling me they're going to vacate. And my heart dropped. So $5 million cash down, gone. That was my biggest loss in real estate, single deal, And my biggest win, $50 million, if I close this deal on one property.
How many companies do you have, by the way?
How many
companies do you have? Like I went to the building, there's like 18 different stickers of all these businesses.
Yeah, I have a lot of different companies.
Do you have any idea how many?
Something. 6 of them I can count right away on my fingers. But there's a lot others I invest on a silent partner. Like, I own a small percentage of a bank. I have several other companies. I'm just an LP, limited partner. But the ones I'm actively managing, there's 6.
Okay. And then for like owning a house like this, or do you have passive income? Do you have like income from your real estate, and that's what covers the lifestyle?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, my business is to make money, plus I have real estate, cash flow. Yeah, they're not empty buildings. I have shopping centers. This building, like I have a mortgage company upstairs, pay me a lot of money. I got, I have 2 or 3 buildings that I buy for flip that are vacant. Those are like reposition play. So, but when you have a big portfolio, obviously you have cash flow and some are value add that you're flipping. So it's a function of, it's a lot of fluid, a lot of things happening. And I also make money with cars.
How do you manage all these businesses? And what is your team?
I don't sleep much. I drink a lot of coffee. I get up between 4 and 5 in the morning. So I respond to all the emails because I got properties in 4 different states, and some time zones are 2 hours ahead. And I start getting emails early, and then I kind of go through my to-do list for the day and prioritize my day. By 7, I'm working out, sauna, cold shower, get my 3rd cup of coffee by 8 in the morning from a Starbucks, and I'm over here at the office take lunch about 11:30, and then afternoon I have a couple of meetings usually, and then I have to have a cigar by myself and regroup what happened all day.
Yeah.
That day, and then get ready for the next day.
What things are you cheap on?
Cheap on?
Yeah, what things do you not spend a lot of money on?
That's a good question. I'm trying to see what... You should ask my wife. Well, I don't like to spend, like, I don't know, $10,000 on a bottle of wine, because I honestly don't appreciate it. To me, I can have a $30 bottle of wine. I does the same thing. I get, I enjoy it just as much. I don't know. I guess maybe watches. I mean, it's $100,000 watch, but I mean, I could buy $1 million watch, but I think it's waste of money. Maybe high fashion, But
This is not something that matters as much to you, or?
No, I don't appreciate it as much, maybe. I don't know, but I'm typically not cheap. Come on.
No, it's not about that. It's like, for me, I'm going...
I wouldn't say cheap. I would say that I would spend less money on would be like expensive wines, champagne, or anything else. I mean, I do drink cognac, $5,000 bottle of cognac, because I smoke cigars. But wine, I'm not so much. I charter jets all the time. Obviously, jewelry, handbags, on special occasion, I like to treat my wife. And just vacationing, I would say, probably is my biggest splurge. I love vacationing. We went to Lake Como, and I'm actually getting a villa for a couple of weeks, taking my entire family to Lake Como.
How much does the private jet to charter cost?
Yeah, it's about $12,000 an hour.
An hour. Mm-hmm. So if you're going across America a few hours.
Yeah, like when we go to Cabo, it's like between $40,000 to $50,000 just for the 3 days we go.
And then how much is like the hotels and like this experience?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, probably another 15, 20. Vacationing is the best money is spent, because, you can't get time back, right? This 1 hour we spend, it's not going to come back. It's gone. So, and as you get older, you appreciate time. And when you vacation, you're really spending your time with yourself and your loved ones. So it's the best money spent.
What's it like to drive around in a Rolls Royce? Like, as an immigrant, you come here, didn't speak English, didn't have money, you lived in a Datsun, and now you're driving like this hundreds of thousands of dollar car. Yeah, well, I have 4 Rolls Royces. I got 2 drop heads at dawn and a brand new Ghost I bought for my wife. I hate to say it, but to me it's normal, because I've been driving Rolls Royce since 2004. When Phantom came out, I bought a brand new Phantom. Back then, the lease payment on that car was more than my mortgage payment. But everybody said, you're crazy. I said, no, you got to get used to having a bigger overhead. And I went to the Rolls-Royce in Newport Beach, and I told them, give me the highest payment you can give. They said, you mean lowest? I said, no, highest. So reduce the residual, whatever they do in leases, I said, I want to pay down basically the lease. I want to have less payment in year 5 when I want to buy it than normally you guys do. Do you have any regrets, like working too hard? Was the money worth it? Or what regrets do you have in working too hard, and was the money worth it? Regrets, young, dumb. I started making money, and I was partying, single, and drinking, driving. That's my biggest regret, because my friend that was in my car, my car spun out, lost control. He wasn't wearing seatbelt, so he got ejected, and unfortunately he passed away. That was a very dark moment in my life, but I would say that's my biggest regret in life. Wow. Being irresponsible, young, doing stupid things, which I know a lot of young kids do, but, sometimes you can't undo things like that, right? And, you pay for that for the rest of your life. So that's, like, probably my biggest regret. Damn, man. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to share that message. I do think, like, myself in the past have done it. I think a lot of people do it, so it's good to remember, like, you're not guaranteed to be safe there. Yeah. It was a very unfortunate accident, but it's, I take the blame, because I was the one driving, and, I was under the influence. So it's, definitely,
something that, most people will not really get it until it happens to them, because you think, hey, everyone's, back then all my friends, we used to go to clubs, bars, you have a few drinks and you get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Like, it was like accepted, but that's one thing I regret the most.
Do you feel like you work too much? Or that you maybe don't?
I don't work too much now. I used to work too much, before, but now that I have my kids, like right now, weekends, even if somebody pays me $1 million, I wouldn't show up to do a seminar or work somewhere. Now, I do seminars for my students, but that's because it's part of the program. But I'm saying as a speaker or a job or a gig, I wouldn't work on weekends because I'd rather spend that with my kids.
How do you define success for yourself? Because I think when a lot of people see you, they say success, but I've always thought success is actually an internal measurement. So I'm curious how you think about it or how you would decide it.
Well, to me, success is having the freedom to choose what you want to do when you wake up and being able to give back, which I think I've achieved. So, it's not how much money you have in the bank or how much is your net worth, it's being able to have the freedom.